In siege warfare, a man sometimes wishes for a strange mercy, that the world might stand still for one brief moment, just long enough to walk, just long enough to see, to look upon the fortress, to measure the road, to study the stone walls and the steep ground before men begin to die upon them. But no such mercy was given that day. Our Bretonnian army marched upon a mountain fortress. We came by the long road. Village after village watched us pass. Behind and beyond us came the usual followers of war. Outlaws kept to the edges of the march, never too near, never too far. They followed in hope, not for glory, not for honor, but for what battle leaves behind. The peasants stood in rows beside the road, silent and wide-eyed. They looked upon the glitter of mail and plate. They watched the wagons creak by. They watched the warlords in their adorned armor, bright with color, rich with heraldry. Even the common soldiers carried a kind of splendor in their order. Crossbowmen, pikemen, swordsmen, each body of men in its own dress, each company in its own place. And all of it drawn out in such length, the army seemed to vanish into the horizon itself. So we moved on, from one village to the next, further along the road, closer to the mountain, closer to the fortress, closer to the work that awaited us there. Our unit rode before the noble camel host. And when their riders saw us, they lifted up a cheer from their saddles. It was their salute to the campaign, their honor given to the march. And so, beneath that sound, we pressed onward toward the fortress. The siege had begun. It was fierce. This was a true siege, and it went on for months. For us outside the walls, food and supplies came easily enough. For those trapped within, it was another matter. Hunger has a cruel way of deciding who goes first. The rich scent of roasted duck became a weapon of its own, a small piece of psychological warfare. The army arrived at the foot of the hill. The carts were emptied of their retinue, and the knights ordered their men forward among the rocks. Their walls were lined with archers, and their arrows darkened the sun. We had our own bowmen as well, and soon shafts, feathers, and iron points were hurled back and forth without ceasing. If a man leaned his head too far above cover, he could expect an arrow to find it. Our own men, outside the walls, did not suffer so. We made certain to cook fresh meat where the enemy could smell it. But in time we noticed a trembling in the men upon the wall. Then the camels had their turn to shine. The camel riders surged forward and charged through the broken gate. The men upon the outer wall were already pulling back toward the keep. At night, strange smells drifted from their fires. The meat was wrong. We said little of it, but the truth settled in every man's mind soon enough. They must have turned to cannibalism. Hunger weakens the limbs. Low blood makes it hard to fight through a full day. I slipped arrows through the gaps in the ramparts and found the heads of the enemy. Some called it luck, but I knew where they would be. sparks came down from the walls. It would not be long now before we broke fully into the outer works. At last we breached the gate, found cover among the stables. Their horses, long dead and butchered for meat, were gone, leaving only empty stalls and ruined shelter. One desperate man came running from the gate, maddened by hunger and drawn by the smell of meat. Yet before he could seize it, an armed peasant, perhaps emboldened at last by desperation, rushed forward and stabbed the would-be thief through the heart. The peasant had only a moment of triumph. Then came the arrows. He fell beneath them, struck down almost at once. The courtyard had become a killing ground, and we could not remain there long. Within a short while we pushed through the second gate and found ourselves fighting for the stairs. The chaos was beyond reckoning. Then through boulders, weak arms swung heavy blades. We found ourselves on the winning side. Yet the death toll climbed so high that victory did not feel clean. Then came the horns. The earth trembled. Chunks of raw human flesh were thrown down from the high walls. Our own dead, taken from the fighting, had been butchered by the malice of their starving kitchens. It was time to finish the battle. We could not hold in that place much longer. So we climbed. Again, raw flesh came down from the heights, but still we scaled the inner keep walls. I continued to search for every gap in the enemy's cover. The slightest glimpse of a head was answered with a bolt. Ladders were stacked against the stone. All men stormed the gates. And at last, the battle was won. The victory was shared with the allies who had joined us, and the fortress would become a new home for our Viking friends. For this war was not a game, nor a raid, nor some passing quarrel. This war was played for keeps.